So my name's Simon Owen. I'm part of the marketing team here at Stabicraft. Late last year we did a road trip across New Zealand with the 2250 Ultra Centrecab, and I was lucky enough to tour the country for 2 months. So I had the Ford Ranger and the 2250. So the idea was to stop at each dealership along the way and sort of show off the boat to the local Stabicraft community. So departing Stabicraft headquarters, the first stop was Ashburton and Timaru with D&E Outdoors. So we took the boat out to Lake Hood, and there was actually quite a good gathering of people who obviously knew the boat was coming and were pretty keen to get on board. So leaving Ashburton, the next stop was Christchurch with the Powerboat Centre. Our Powerboat Centre have been Stabicraft dealer for a long time, and so they really know the brand very well. And this was the first chance for me to get offshore in this boat and get some footage. So from there I had a pretty big drive I had to get from Christchurch. Met up with the team at Bay's Boating. They'd recently just redone their whole building, and so they just had an expo day showing off the local community. The next day we went out in the Able Tasman and got some awesome footage. Really cool place to explore. So we got to explore some little inlets and rivers. We actually had a full fleet there. We had a 2100 Supercab, we had an 1850 Frontier, we had a 1550 Fisher, we had the 22 Ultra Centrecab, the Red Beast, and then we had Bay's Boating 2250 Centrecab. So from there we went over to Blenheim with the team at Marine and Outdoors. Also just redone their whole business and moved into a new premises, so it was really exciting for them. They've done a really good job getting that all nice and tidy. So Adam Marshall, who is the general manager there, used to actually work at Stabicraft, so he knows the brand really well, and he organised us to take the Red 2250 out, launched the boat, went through the Sounds, out into Cook Strait. We tried to do a few drops for groper. We organised the day in filming on a tight schedule, but the tides were completely wrong for fishing, so we weren't very successful, but we headed back into the Sounds and found some gurnard, so that was a nice way to top off the stop in Marlborough. So after that, we took the ferry across the strait and headed to Wellington and saw the team at KP Marine. Now, if you want to go offshore fishing out of Wellington, you need to know what you're doing and you need to have a boat that's going to get you there. The KP Marine guys know their stuff. So again, as part of the road trip, we were running these demo days on a schedule, so we're sort of, you know, rain, hail or shine, we'll go out if it's safe. Of course, Wellington put the weather on for us. It was blowing a gale, 40-knot winds. So we took some keen customers, and it was actually ended up a really good way to showcase that the boat can handle itself in those sort of conditions. You know, you're going to get yourself way out there, the weather might turn, you've got to get yourself back in. It's the perfect boat to do it, you know. In that following sea, you just had a lot more control. When you were punching into the swell and the boat came down, some customers expected the boat to come down with a big slam, but when it came down, it has this soft landing, and that's something that has been developed with the newer Stabicrafts and is certainly evident with the 2250. So heading off from Wellington, Trevor Marine hosted 3 demo days. And so all of those actually had a reasonably good turnout, and Trev Terry didn't just have the 2250 there, they brought the whole range to each one. We actually had quite a few families turn out. So mum and dad got on board and the kids jumping around, got to see how the boat would perform, not just for comfort and ergonomics, but also that confidence factor and safety on the water. So moving up the country, the next stop was with the Mastertech Marine. So it was actually at their boat show. The boat was there for about a week, so they had customers coming in and out throughout the week, getting that boat around the mount. Then we headed over to Ocean Sports Marine. Mike and his team there had a range of bigger boats. The Red Beast as part of the road trip, and they also had the 2250 Centrecab, sort of rigged out black beast, everything you want on it. They also had a 2500. We took all of those out and customers sort of jumped in between the boats, got a feel for all of them. They certainly weren't holding back on the throttle. So from there I travelled over to Hamilton. We launched our 2250 in the Waikato River and then set off down there and did a little bit of fishing and showcased that really accessible river. Surprisingly, you know, the 2250, while it is a seagoing boat, handled really well in that environment. So after Hamilton we headed up to the Coromandel, and the Coromandel is another one of those parts of New Zealand that is sort of just picture perfect. So we had the boats on display at Whitianga Marine and then also on the water the day after. And so we had the 2250 Ultra Centrecab, our Red Beast, and then another 1550 on display as well. And as we were sort of coming in and out throughout the day, got a whole lot of footage of the boats cruising around. One of the runs we did out, we were driving some customers around, there was some orcas started playing in and around the boat, which is pretty surreal. So headed in from the Coromandel into Auckland, got two dealerships in Auckland, one on either side. First stop was with Kevin Ian's Marine, and so they did a demo day during the week in the centre of Auckland, and so we had a whole lot of people through demoing both the new 1850 Fisher and the 2250 Ultra Centrecab. Kevin Ian's also organised a competition where people could win a fishing trip out of Auckland on the boat with Stabie Ambassador Adam Clancy. The winner was a husband and wife couple. The husband did some fishing on some smaller boats and the wife hadn't done much fishing before at all. So we didn't go far. We ended up out the end of Rakino Island, managed to bag a few snapper, and so the winners there really enjoyed their day out on the boat. Again, when we were coming in home, you know, it did chop up a little bit. So then we headed over to the other side of Auckland into Gulfland Marine, and they also did a demo day out on the water for customers in the area. In this part of the country, you couldn't go far without people stopping you and wanting to talk about the boat. You think about how many businesses could drive around the country with their product and have people, you know, running after them wanting to talk about it. It is a testament to the Stabicraft brand and also to the product itself. The last stop of the 2250 road trip was Marine North. You know, everyone in the Marine North team has a connection to the water, and so they were all really keen to get out on that boat. They'd obviously seen all the content of it coming up the country, and so they were, you know, what are we going to do? So we ended up going 50 kilometres north out to the Portnight Islands, and what a spectacular place. Around the island is a marine reserve, so there's no fishing there. It was just caked with kingfish and snapper and trevally and, you know, everything you could imagine, all swimming on top of each other. It was an awesome day to finish up the road trip with an awesome boat, and across the country where we've met some pretty awesome people.